story looks at the green belt and what appears to be a U-turn on the commitment not to use the land to build houses. In the first in a series this week about the green belt, Liana Hosea reports from the site of one of the biggest developments near Harlow in Essex.
These beautiful fields and forests in Essex and Hertfordshire used to be the old hunting grounds for Henry VIII. According to folklore, Queen Boadicea prayed here before waging war on the Romans. But now, locals are worried that all this will be lost to make way for 15,500 new homes.
This will be one of the biggest developments in the London Greenbelt, and everything you can see here will all be housing.
This is the breadbasket of England. This is where your grain comes from. If we concrete over all of our fields, we wouldn't have anything to eat.
The council says this isn't real greenbelt because it's just a field.
The purpose of green belt is to stop urban sprawl. It's nothing to do with the quality of the land. It's a planning designation.
The main housing development is going to be over there to the north of Harlow. And then to connect it to the town, they're going to build a large road all the way across these two lakes, over the River Stort and into the town of Harlow.
Local naturalist Jonathan Forgham is concerned the planned infrastructure could damage the fragile ecosystem.
Part of the development is going to be on a landfill site, and it actually states in the proposals that there is the likelihood of leaching of pollutants out of the landfill site into the watercourse, into the wetland floodplain. It will have an undoubted impact on just about everything that's here, really.
The council says that to meet government housing targets and to strengthen the local economy, they've decided to release Greenbelt for development. They say it will be done sensitively and work will be undertaken to improve biodiversity.
We work with the developers to ensure that they employ all the best controlling techniques that they can, like the time of year that development can take place, so it's outside of the times when, for example, birds are nesting, etc. Some is around providing compensatory habitat. There's a whole range of techniques that we can employ.
But many locals remain unconvinced.
This is not just me and my area. This is everywhere. Yeah, we do need houses. Put them on brownfield sites. There are plenty of empty houses. Leave our river alone.
The Greenbelt is an important floodplain and environment that allows nature and ourselves to thrive. But with pressure to meet housing targets, it's an uncertain future for places like this.
Well, Liana is with me now. Liana, if the point of the green belt is for it to be protected and the government has expressed its wish for it to not be touched, why are they building on the green belt?
Well, according to the London Greenbelt Council, there are currently plans to build more than 230,000 new homes on the Greenbelt. Now, the government refused to give us an interview, but the Ministry of Housing did give us this statement, saying decisions to release Greenbelt are made by local councils, not central government. Protecting the Greenbelt is a government priority, and our national planning policy reinforces regenerating brownfield sites and prioritising urban areas. So the government says planning permission to build on Greenbelt should be refused unless there are very special circumstances. Now, for local authorities, the reality is they have housing targets from central government that they must meet. In England, it's 300,000 per year. So the local authority might decide that the promise to meet these targets are these very special circumstances, or they might decide that the Greenbelt isn't performing well, and so they can remove its Greenbelt status so you can build on it.
So what about, for instance, using the brownfield sites then?
Well, the government says that their priority is to build on brownfield sites first, which might be an old industrial site or a disused urban site. But according to the London Greenbelt Council, brownfield sites are not being prioritised because there's often obstacles which make it less attractive for developers to build on. For example, it might need to be decontaminated or remediated, which all costs money.
Absolutely. Liana, thank you very much. And you can read more on this story on our website, the address there on your screens. And part 2 of our Green Belt series will be on tomorrow evening's programme.